Somebody's got a job. All right, Peter Barnes, thank you very much. Well, folks, in about 2 hours from now exactly, the president will be outlining his $180 billion package of expanded business tax cuts. But do businesses deserve it? Here to debate it, on the right, Mark Matson of Matson Money, and on the left, Erica Payne of the Agenda Project. And Erica, I'm going to start with you because many of the polls show us right now that Americans are not confident that this president is handling the economy correctly. They are not confident that there's going to be jobs waiting for them next year.
Right.
Is this the right move now by the president to get businesses to hire?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the question that you asked in opening this segment is, you know, do businesses deserve this? And I think that you can't do enough for small businesses. You know, they account for about 70% of new jobs. And so we really want to focus on that part of the economy and see what we can do there. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to go with the raise the demand kind of style of economic stimulus. And so what you want to do is put more money in the hands of consumers, which President Obama has done by giving 95% of people a tax cut.
But Mark, on the other side of this, I mean, this is for capital expenditure. So this is expansion plans. This is large-scale plans, not just for small businesses. I mean, the president is trying to finally get companies to begin hiring in this country. Is this the right way to do it?
Well, here's the deal. I agree with Erica that the jobs have to come from the small business sector. Yeah, one agreement. But this package is basically a bait and switch. If I'm a small business person, what they're going to do is they're going to accelerate my write-off to this year, which sounds great. But my tax bracket this year is 35%. What they're not going to do is let me carry that into next year, and they want to raise my tax bracket to 35%. So what this really is for small businesses, not for the Fortune 500 companies, this is a tax increase for small businesses. This is so intellectually dishonest. This is going to hurt small businesses, and this is not a move to get small businesses hiring.
Cheryl, I want to spend just an afternoon.
They need an increase.
Erica?
Cheryl, I want to spend an afternoon wandering around that head of Mark's. I mean, how he gets from being able to write off every CapEx that you make in 2011, and somehow he turns that into a tax increase. You know,
Erica, this is simple. If
on.
you raise my tax rate next year and I can't take it next year, then I'm going to actually pay. I'm going to get a smaller write-off.
Let's talk about raising the tax.
Guys, hold on a second. But Erica, his point, I know what Mark is trying to say here, is the Bush tax cuts, if they do expire for income earners over $200,000, $250,000 per year, that is small businesses. That is a good 8% tax increase for next year.
So I think, again, Mark likes to pull out the small business boogeyman. And we just need to put this thing to rest. Of all of the people in the country who have any declared small business income, 2% of them are in the top 2 tax brackets. Okay, so every single person who declares any income from small business, 2% of them are in the tax brackets that you're talking about. And the fact of the matter is most of those people are corporate law firms.
Let me ask you this, Mark. I mean, we've had this discussion before between the two of you in this segment about extending the Bush tax cuts. Here's my question to you, Mark. The president, again, very vocal in saying, absolutely, I oppose any type of even 1 to 2 year extension of the Bush tax cuts for everybody. That would include the wealthiest individuals. That would include small businesses that you're talking about. He's even saying that. Erica, previously on this show, has said that she thinks that maybe for a year or two it might be a good thing. So Erica, which is it here?
So here's the thing. There is no doubt that giving people a tax cut has a stimulative effect on the economy. And so what President Obama has said is that he wants to extend those tax cuts now for 98% of the people. What he does want to do, though, is ask people who are making $250,000 a year or more to pay a little bit more. And the fact of the matter is, over the last 10 years, well, small businesses who declare an income of over $250,000 a year, and it's 2% of small businesses.
Mark Manson.
If this is right, yeah, go ahead. If this is right, that if tax write-offs stimulate the economy, then why do we want to parse it out? See, these liberals are more concerned with redistributing wealth than they are getting the economy back going. If these tax rights are beneficial, wait a minute, let me finish, then what we need to do is we need to get away Do away with capital gains tax. Do away with dividend tax. Give investors something they can really hold on to get them excited. And then do a balanced budget. Because investors, small businesses, are concerned with long-term $1 trillion a year stimulus spending.
Mark and Erica, I need both of you to stand by. I need both of you to stand by for a second. I want to bring Greg Jarrett and Mark DeCambre into the conversation. Greg?
One of the things that is interesting is Paul Volcker advises the president came out with his long-awaited report on the Recovery Board last Friday. And if you read that, he advocates simplifying and reducing the corporate tax rates in America. It's the second highest rate in the world. He argues that would make corporations more competitive and they would immediately be able to build and create jobs.
Mark?
I mean, what I do know is that at this point...
Oh, hold on, Mark DeCambre. I'm so sorry. My bad. Mark DeCambre. I got Mark and Mark today.
Too many Marks. But it seems like the Obama administration is ultimately viewed as anti-business and is, I was just speaking to a pretty big executive at a big bank, and they were saying that, there's just not enough incentives for big businesses and or small businesses, and you need to stimulate the economy by propping them up.
Okay, Mark Mattson, go ahead, sir.
Well, if I'm a business person, I'm going to only expand my factories, my computers, my R&D if I perceive demand. At the most, this is going to accelerate things a quarter or two, but the long-term expansion and capital expenditure is not going to go up based on this. This is going to be cash for clunkers 2, and this is stimulus 2. We saw the first version. It didn't help the economy. This won't help it either.
Erica?
So I ran a small business for 8 years, and the way that I figure out whether or not, I'm so happy for you, Mark. The way that I'm going to figure out if I'm going to hire more people is to figure out if more people are buying the things that I'm selling. So increased demand, which again, if you give a tax cut to 95% of people, which President Obama has done, that is likely to stimulate demand. End of story.
Mark Mattson?
Apparently it's not enough because we had 16 million people unemployed.
Well, honey, of course it's not enough because George Bush wrecked the economy. Period.
No,
$1 trillion of tax cuts for a bunch of rich people, $1 trillion of a war we can't afford, and he wrecked the economy by taking all the regulations off the banks.
I hate to say it, Erica, I think we've already kind of pointed out that, again, the wealthy does include many small businesses, which this president continues to say that he wants to help out. Folks, I got to leave it there with both of you.
Erica wants to take all the money. I got an idea. Let's take all the money from the wealthy, the top 2%. Would that solve the problem, Erica?
I tell you what, let's take all the money from Lloyd Blankfein since he wrecked the economy and just distribute that to all the people.
I was wondering if you were going to get a Lloyd Blankfein line into the debate today, Erica. And yes, you did. Congratulations again on this debate topic. You and Lloyd, I'm going to set you two up on a date here in New York. Erica Payne, Mark Mattson, thank you very much. Lloyd's happily married, but he's got to meet Miss Erica Payne because she's a big fan, it turns out. All right, stay with, guys, you're crazy. Stay with Fox Business for live coverage and full analysis of the president.